doing a video that I've never done before. A lot of people have asked me to do, so I thought I'd finally do it. So obviously from the title you can tell this is about how to lighten your hair at home, and I just wanted to preface this video with saying I am not an expert. I have not gone to any kind of styling school or hair school or anything. I've been dyeing my hair for over 6 years now, I think, 7 years. I've been dyeing my hair for a long time. I have a lot of experience with at-home hair dyes and boxes. I have a whole hair color, drugstore hair color review video, which I will link in the description box and right here. It's kind of just like my opinion on a bunch of the ones I've tried and like my favorite one and stuff like that. And back then I was dyeing my hair darker than my natural color. So first of all, I'm just going to put in a picture here. It's really embarrassing, but of my natural color. It's the last picture I have of my hair being the natural color. So it's very mousy, kind of ashy, light brown, dark blonde kind of color, and I hate it. I think it looks terrible. It looks gray to me. And then I went really dark for a while. I was like super dark. I went really auburn and orangey for a while. I'll put a picture of that in. And then I went very dark last year, about, I'd say, yeah, about exactly a year ago. I had a very, very dark, almost black dark hair I was dyeing myself. And then over the summer, in about July, I got my hair kind of ombre balayage, kind of. Then I decided I wanted to go even lighter, but it cost so much money just to get that done. And I didn't want to have to be spending all that money and getting it touched up all the time professionally. And also the bleach dyed my hair. Like, killed my hair. If you can tell from pieces underneath my hair, like this very blonde piece, these aren't what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I did not color these. These are the bleached pieces from that bleach in the summer. So when I got professionally bleached, it's very drying, very damaging. My hair has been in never worse condition than it was kind of from July to like October. And then around October, December, in between there, I use at-home hair dye that I haven't used this shade before, but I have used this product in the past with a different color, and I've always really liked it. And now I wanted to talk about how I got it, and it is not bleach, so it won't be as damaging to your hair as if you had bleached it yourself, which I wouldn't recommend unless you like know exactly what you're doing, like 100%, because it's a very dangerous, risky process. If you want to do this at home, then this is the way I would recommend doing it. It's the most risk-free way. This isn't going to be like, you know, black hair to platinum blonde overnight. This isn't going to be even dark brown to like this color overnight. This took me a while, so pretty much like I said, right now it is February, and I started doing this in, say, November, and I just did this 2 hours ago. I recolored mine. I'm going to talk about how I do it, the whole process and everything in this video, so stay tuned for all that. My hair went from the picture I'm showing right here to this in about 3 to 4 months, and I'm really happy with it. This is a color I've been wanting for a really long time. I have warm light brown hair with golden kind of undertones in it, and that's exactly what I wanted. I just want to talk to you about what it is. First of all, I'm going to introduce the product right now, and it is the Revlon Color Silk Luminista. And the box looks like this, and they make about 10 different shades, not very many to choose from, but I think if you're going lighter, then this is definitely the best course to go. It's also very affordable. I mean, I think this box was around $4. If you go to a normal drugstore, even Target, you're probably not going to find this box. You will see the normal Revlon Color Silk, which is kind of like a brownish box, and these are the cheapest drugstore hair colors I've ever found. I've found a lot, I've tried a lot, which I showed in that drugstore hair color review, which is a super old video, by the way. I always loved that one. It's always been my favorite. It's always the cheapest. It's like always on sale for $2 for $5 at a lot of stores, and I love it, and that one's great. So if you're just trying to go from like a different color, or you know, like a couple shades difference, I would recommend that. But this one is really great. So this is the color I use, which obviously, you can tell from the picture on the box, is a lot lighter than the color I achieved and the color that I have. And that's what kind of this video is about, and how to figure that out. So like I said, it's not going to take your hair from black to blonde. That's not going to happen. If you have black hair, you're going to have to bleach it, I'm thinking. On the side of the box it shows like this dark brown to this, and that's not going to happen either. This is going to take a while to start working. The first time you do it, it is going to work minorly, but it's not going to be that like overnight. It's going to go shade by shade. Another thing about this product is that it's meant for your dark hair to go light without going brassy, because even when I get my hair dyed at the salon, it tends to go really orange, and that happens to the majority of people with brown hair. When they go light, it goes orange. This product is meant to not do that, and yes, sometimes this will still happen depending on your hair. You know, it's not going to go bright orange, but if you get a little bit of that kind of brassy color to it, then I would just recommend a purple shampoo. I use a Clairol one. I found it like Bed Bath & Beyond for like $5. You can find a lot of them. John Frieda makes one, and you just want to use that like once a week until it goes away. One thing I want to mention about this dye, though, like I said, it's not going to be readily available at all drugstores. They do sell some shades at Walgreens and things like that. I order mine from Target on the website. They're very affordable. So the color on the box is not the color it's going to end up on your head. So keep that in mind. That's something a lot of people don't get when they go to the drugstore and pick out a color. You're like, oh, that looks great on her. It's going to look great on me. That's the color I get. It's not. If you're going from like an ashy blonde to like a little tiny bit of a warmer blonde, it might be exactly the color you're going to get if you're making a very minor change. But if you are going lighter and you want to go drastically lighter, it's going to take a while to get it even close to color on the box. If you're going darker, obviously it's easier. That's like a known fact. Going darker is way easier than going light. You can go dark almost automatically. When I had my natural hair, I went from that color to that first color I showed you, that really dark one, like overnight. If you want to go lighter, it is going to take a while if you want to do it without bleaching it and without spending a whole lot of money. If you want this color, you're going to have to get the shade that's lighter than this, and if you want like a dark auburn shade, you're going to have to buy a lighter auburn shade, if you get what I'm saying. But you really just kind of have to play around with it. These are so kind of foolproof, I think. If you want to see the change gradually, like from when I had dark hair to when I had the ombre to this, you can kind of watch my past videos, or even just go through my video playlist, like all my videos on my channel, and you can see the difference of my hair color throughout that whole time. I also wanted to mention that this is very, very non-irritating. I've tried a lot of different hair colors, like I said, and the Garnier ones that they make really made my head itch. I don't know, I had some kind of reaction. I always have a reaction to Garnier, whether it's makeup, skincare, whatever. So that might just be me. But a lot of them are very strong. They have a really bad smell to them, like L'Oreal and Garnier both just smelled so strong and like gave me a headache. This one is so much more light. When you use it in your hair, it doesn't smell really bad. It doesn't make you want to open a window. It also comes with a conditioner little packet in here that you're going to want to use at the end of the process, which I'll explain in a minute. Also, my hair feels nice after I do it. Like I said, I did this 2 hours ago. My hair feels really soft. It doesn't feel dead or damaged or anything like that. So I don't think this is like good for your hair. Obviously, no hair color is like good for your hair, but this one isn't as damaging, obviously, as bleach. So that's also a good thing if you want to like kind of slowly build up to a blonder color. So if you naturally have my kind of natural shade or dark brown hair and you want like this shade by summer, then start now, and you can do it every 5 to 6 weeks up until summer, and you should have the shade that you want. Okay, so now on to the how-to. So to do this, it's really easy. A lot of people have asked me to film myself actually doing it, and the only reason I don't want to do that is just because I look horrible when I do it, and it just kind of makes a mess. But it's really easy. The first thing you're going to want to do is put towels everywhere. The first thing I always do is grab like an old kind of towel, like a beach towel. I put it down on the floor of my bathroom. Especially if you live with your parents, you're not going to want to do this. They're going to get mad at you if you make a mess or stain anything. So the first thing I do is take our rug up in the bathroom, put it in the corner. I take a big towel, lay it down. It has a lot of stains on it. And then I take paper towels and put them all over the countertop, like everywhere, because you will make a mess, especially if this is your first time doing it. You also might want to ask for a friend to help you if it's your first time doing it. Just make sure you reach every spot. You're going to want to just take the little, they give you a little bottle in here. It's about this big, and they give you a bottle that has a squeezy spout on it, which is what you use to color your hair. And you're going to want to take the lids off of both, pour the liquid into the more creamy product, and just put it in, like pour it in, and then you're going to take the tip off of the squeezy bottle. You're just going to cut it off with some scissors, and then put your finger over it and shake it until it's all mixed for about 30 seconds, aiming away from you so you don't get it all over yourself. Also, obviously wear like bad clothes, you know, like a rag shirt or whatever it is, or put a towel around you. A bad towel, don't put good towels down, your parents will be mad. Then you're going to want to just mix it up, and then you're pretty much ready to go. Make sure you do put the gloves on. They give you kind of like a cheap pair of gloves. If you have better gloves around the house, that's great, but definitely wear gloves or you will stain your hands. It's happened to me many of times. Then all you're going to want to do is separate your hair off. Now, depending on whether this is your first time coloring or you're recoloring your hair, the process is going to change a little bit, because the first time I colored my hair, I just did the entire head. I would go from kind of layer to layer. By the way, you want your hair to be dry, and it's best not to use freshly washed hair, because when your hair is freshly washed, there's nothing for the color to grab onto. It won't absorb into your hair as well. So I did this with 2-day-old hair, and I highly recommend doing that, because the grease and the oils that are built up in your hair will make the color stay better in your hair, and it'll kind of absorb the color more. Just so you know. I take a little piece of hair like this much and just hold it like this with the gloves on, and then just squeeze the squeeze tube out like in a chunk, and then just like run my hands through it until the whole piece is nice and moist, and you can tell the difference between dry and wet hair. So you just want to do that all over. Make sure you get your roots. There's a lot of spots you might miss in the back. That's why I said you might want to have a buddy help you. And what I used to do actually was leave some pieces dry, like some random pieces throughout, but not really thick. You want to make sure you're taking small enough sections that even if you miss a few, it kind of blends. As you can tell, that's kind of what I do sometimes, because all my hair isn't one solid color. There's some lighter pieces throughout, and that's kind of what I do. Another thing you can do, if you wanted to, I have done this a number of times, I used to do this when I had my brown hair, is take 2 colors. I would take this one and like the one lighter, or for brown, take one brown and just like 2 shades lighter, and I mix them, and instead of mixing them together, what I do is I will separate them out, and every other strand that I color, and not strand, like, you know, like one strand, but like every kind of thing like this that I would take, I would use the darker one and then use the lighter one, use the darker one, then use the lighter one, so that I kind of got a mixture of tones and it's not all one solid color, because I think that looks a lot more natural and nice. So you could do that. Like I said, they're really cheap, so buying two is really, really easy. If you're gonna recolor your hair, the first thing you're gonna do is your roots, because your roots are gonna be the most different from the rest of your hair. So this time when I dyed my hair this morning, my roots were about this an inch maybe. They were growing in. They looked really bad. I didn't like it. They looked greasy and weird. So the first thing I do when I color my hair, now that I'm recoloring it, and the rest of my hair was still almost like this morning, it was just my roots that were the worst. So what I did is I took the color, I made it like I did, I just explained, and then I just squirted it all throughout my roots. I started with my part, which I part over here, so wherever your part is, you want to start there, because if you wear your hair down a lot, that's the thing that you're going to see the most. And those are the first places you're going to want to work with, because those have to be on the longest. So if you start, doing all of this hair, and then you end doing this, and then leave it on for 15 minutes, the rest of your hair is going to look different than your roots, and your roots are already different. So you're going to make sure it's on the roots for the longest, especially if you're recoloring or just dyeing your roots and touching up throughout. You don't have to recolor your entire head when you're redoing your roots. I just recommend doing your roots and then lightly kind of touching up throughout, because you are going to want to do that every once in a while just to keep the color fresh. And it can be messy, like I said, you're gonna have to shake it once you get lower, and it can shoot across the room, so make sure you're kind of wiping that up as soon as possible. Water will usually just take care of it, but make sure you're trying to pay attention to those types of things. And then once you're done, all you're gonna do is put your hair up in a bun, or put it in a giant clip, or however you can do it to keep it out of your face. Then don't sit on your bed or a chair or anything that you're gonna lean back on, because you don't want to get the dye anywhere. But just kind of chill, read a magazine, do whatever you're doing until you're ready. So I think in the box it says something like 25 minutes. So what I do, like I said, when I'm recoloring, is I'll do my roots first. So then the 15 minutes I'm spending touching up the rest of my head, that's already been sitting in, and then I wait about 10 more minutes, and then I would take a shower. And if you're coloring your hair for the first time, once you're done, I'd say wait 20 to 25 minutes. Now when you get in the shower to rinse it out, you're not putting shampoo in your hair, you're just rinsing the color straight out. So you just want to take some warm water. You don't want hot water, because that's not good for the hair color, but you're going to take warm water and just rinse it all out until the water runs clear. And then you're going to take the little conditioner packet they give you and put it all throughout your whole head. I even put it near my roots just to make sure I'm reconditioning all that hair that just got damaged by the dye. And you're just going to want to recondition your whole head, leave it on for just a couple minutes, shave your legs, do a little dance, whatever. And then rinse it all out, and then your hair will be wet and you'll dry it, and then that's it. And then I just curled my hair, and this is what it looks like. So it's a really easy process. If you have any questions I didn't answer, make sure you leave them in a comment about the process itself. This is going to take longer. Like I said, this isn't going to be your overnight, thing. But I think it is the best way to do it, to be honest. I think this is a great way for anyone young who wants to minorly change their hair and just lighten it, but not like go from like black to bleach blonde, if you get what I'm saying. I think it's a really great kind of foolproof way to try it out. If I hope this video helped you guys out, please give it a thumbs up if it did, and also leave a comment in the comments if you have any questions or anything like that. Please subscribe, I guess, if you want to see more from me. I'd really appreciate it, whether it's makeup or hair, fashion, anything. And that's all I have to say. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!